Stop what you are doing. Do not scroll past this. This is not a suggestion. This is an interruption ordered by heaven itself. You did not find this message by accident, and this moment was not arranged by an algorithm. This is a divine appointment. The timing is precise. The court is already in session, and the gavel has fallen. The trial is not beginning. It is over. You are not late. You are not forgotten. And you are not being punished. Hear this clearly. God is not delaying you. He is preparing a release. Right now, in the unseen realm, documents have been signed. Permissions have been granted. Jurisdictions have shifted. What you have been calling a delay was never denial. It was due process. Many of you listening feel the weight of time pressing on your chest, sleepless nights, numbers that do not add up, bills that keep returning like witnesses who refuse to leave the stand. You have replayed conversations in your mind, wondering where it went wrong. You have questioned your decisions. You have questioned yourself. Some of you have even questioned God in the quiet moments you would never say out loud. You feel behind. You feel stalled. You feel like life moved forward without you. This is not imagination. These symptoms are real. Fatigue, anxiety, a constant low-grade pressure in your spirit, a sense that something should have happened by now. That is the pain. And pain is always evidence that something has been contested. But hear the ruling. The culprit was never you. John 10:10 establishes jurisdiction immediately. The thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Stealing implied as illegality. No thief operates with permission. That means what was taken from you was never authorized. Time, peace, opportunities, resources. None of it was surrendered willingly. It was taken, and anything taken illegally is subject to restitution. Proverbs 6:31 is not poetry. It is statute. If the thief is found, he must restore sevenfold. Must is not optional language. It is mandatory enforcement. The moment the thief is identified, restoration is triggered. You have spent years blaming yourself for something heaven never blamed you for. The enemy relied on that confusion, because as long as you thought you were guilty, you would never file a claim. But today, the thief has been found. This is why exposure has increased around you. People revealing themselves, systems collapsing, false supports breaking. This was not loss. This was discovery. Discovery always precedes judgment. God does not rush verdicts. He perfects them. Ecclesiastes 3:1 declares that there is a time for every purpose under heaven. Time is a legal container. Purpose cannot be released outside of its appointed time, or it would be vulnerable. You were not delayed. You were protected. Some of you were asking God for release while still standing in an environment that would have drained it. Others were asking for increase without the capacity to sustain it. Heaven does not release what will be wasted or weaponized against you. So God built capacity first. This preparation did not look like progress. It looked like pressure. It looked like silence. It looked like waiting while others passed you by. But Isaiah 54:2 says, "Enlarge the place of your tent." Expansion happens before habitation. Strengthening happens before settlement. You were being reinforced. Now hear this part carefully. The release is scheduled, not someday, not eventually. There is a window. The next 72 hours are significant. Movements are already in motion. Conversations are being rerouted. Decisions are being influenced. You may not see the full picture yet, but you will feel a shift. Watch for sudden clarity. Watch for unusual favor. Watch for solutions that arrive without strain. Psalm 102:13 says, "You will arise and have mercy on Zion, for the time to favor her. Yes, the set time has come." Set time means it was marked on the calendar before the problem ever appeared. Your delay expired before you did. Now understand the nature of what is coming. This is not a paycheck increase alone. This is not just a bill being paid. This is settlement. A settlement is compensation for damage. It acknowledges harm. It addresses loss. It restores position. God does not merely replace what was taken. He restores with interest. Joel 2:25 establishes time restitution. "I will restore to you the years the locust has eaten." Years are not money. Years are life. God is saying He repays time itself. Missed opportunities, delayed joy, deferred dreams, all accounted for. This is why the release feels heavy. It carries time inside it. And wealth in this season is not about indulgence. Deuteronomy 8:18 clarifies the purpose. God gives power to get wealth to establish His covenant. Wealth becomes a weapon, a tool, a resource to advance kingdom outcomes. You are not being elevated to consume. You are being entrusted to distribute. This is also why public vindication is attached. Psalm 23:5 says, "A table is prepared in the presence of enemies." God does not hide His verdicts. He enforces them openly. Accusations end when evidence arrives. Those who doubted you will not need explanations. They will see results. But listen, with release comes responsibility, and with responsibility comes opposition. The enemy does not attack what is still bound. He attacks what has been freed. This is why focus matters in the next 3 days. Guard your mouth. Guard your peace. Do not rehearse old disappointments. Do not revisit closed cases. Double jeopardy is illegal in heaven. What God has settled cannot be retried. Romans 8:33 asks the question plainly. Who shall bring a charge against God's elect? The answer is no one. The case is closed. If this message resonates, you are not listening as a spectator. You are a claimant, and every claim must be signed. Type 1, receive my settlement. Not for attention, for alignment. Words are legal instruments in the spiritual realm. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. And if you are not already connected here, understand this is not content. This is community. Subscribe to station yourself among a remnant who understands timing, authority, and enforcement. One more thing. Protect what is coming. There is a word prepared to teach you how to secure the harvest once it arrives. Watch it. Do not delay. Blessings unguarded become targets. Now receive this final declaration. Judge of all the earth, we acknowledge your verdict. We honor your timing. We submit to your order. Let every withheld resource be released now. Let every delayed door open with precision. Let every stolen year return with increase. Let wisdom accompany wealth. Let peace surround provision. Let favor enforce what mercy has decreed. We declare preparation complete, delay canceled, release authorized, settlement enforced. In Jesus' name, amen. Move forward. The release is already in motion. And now hear what follows after the verdict, because a ruling without enforcement is just words on paper. Heaven does not issue symbolic judgments. Heaven enforces. Right now, warrants are being served in the unseen realm. Psalm 103:20 declares that angels excel in strength and do his word, hearkening to the voice of his command. The moment the verdict was spoken, messengers were dispatched. They are not debating, they are not negotiating, they are executing. This is why resistance may suddenly spike. Confusion, distraction, old fears trying to resurface. That is not regression, that is eviction. When a tenant is being removed, there is always noise at the door. But noise does not stop authority. Luke 10:19 establishes jurisdiction clearly. I give you power to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy. All means total, no exceptions, no loopholes. The enemy has no appeal left. Some of you are asking, if this is true, why does it still feel tight? Because pressure often increases right before release. Think of a seed underground. Darkness does not mean death, it means development. God does not pull you out prematurely. He brings you out finished. Hear this carefully. What is being released to you is calibrated. It fits your assignment. It matches your future. If it had arrived earlier, it would have intimidated you. Now you are ready to steward it without shrinking. This is why your appetite has changed. Things that used to excite you no longer satisfy you. You are thinking bigger, even if you do not yet have the resources to match the vision. That is alignment. Habakkuk 2:3 says the vision is for an appointed time. Though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not lie. Delay is not deception. It is synchronization. In the natural realm, they talk about inflation, recession, instability, rising costs, shrinking margins. But the spiritual realm does not operate on scarcity. Psalm 24:1 states plainly that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Fullness means nothing missing, nothing lacking. Your supply is not tied to the economy. It is tied to obedience. And obedience is not punishment. It is positioning. Some of you have obeyed in obscurity, gave when it hurt, stayed honest when compromise would have been easier, walked away from opportunities that felt wrong even though you needed the money. Heaven recorded every decision. Malachi 3:16 says a book of remembrance was written before him for those who feared the Lord and honored his name. Books get opened in court. This is why the release is not random. It is documented. Now understand this. Restitution is not always delivered in a single form. Sometimes it arrives as debt cancellation, sometimes as contracts, sometimes as ideas that produce streams, sometimes as favor with people who have access. Do not limit the method. Limitations slow reception. Isaiah 45:3 speaks of treasures hidden in darkness. That means provision can come from places you did not expect through channels you did not plan. Be alert over the next 3 days. Watch emails, watch phone calls, watch conversations that feel unusually easy. Watch doors that open without force. And when it comes, do not panic. Some people self-sabotage blessings because they are unfamiliar with peace. Receive calmly. Steward wisely. Remember, wealth is a weapon, not for ego, not for comparison, for impact. You are being positioned as a financier for good, to fund solutions, to relieve pressure for others, to build what the enemy tried to starve. And yes, your enemies will see it. Not because God is cruel, but because truth silences lies. Vindication restores your name. Psalm 37:6 says, He will bring forth your righteousness as the light, and your justice as the noonday sun. Justice is visible. Now before this closes, agree with this final sealing. Say it in your spirit. or out loud if you can. I agree with heaven's timeline. I release old delays. I reject false guilt. I receive authorized provision. I accept restitution in full. I steward what comes with wisdom. I walk forward without fear. This case is closed. This door is open. This release is final. Stay alert. Stay grounded. Stay grateful. The next time we speak, you will not be asking if it is coming. You will be testifying that it arrived. And one more thing must be entered into the record before this session is adjourned, because many verdicts fail at this stage, not because the ruling was wrong, but because the recipient did not remain positioned. Hear this clearly. After a verdict is issued, there is always a transition period between declaration and full manifestation. That space is called enforcement, and enforcement requires alignment. This is why Scripture warns, cast not away, therefore your confidence, which hath great recompense of reward, according to Hebrews 10:35. Confidence is not emotion. Confidence is legal posture. It is the refusal to act like the case is still undecided. From this moment forward, stop rehearsing the problem. Problems lose jurisdiction when the ruling changes. Rehearsal gives them airtime they no longer deserve. Speak like someone who has already been cleared. Move like someone whose appeal window has closed. Pray like someone who has already been heard. Because heaven is not waiting on another petition. Heaven is waiting on agreement. Now understand the precision of the timing. You were not delayed. You were insulated. Had the release come earlier, it would have been consumed by emergencies instead of multiplied into legacy. God does not fund chaos. He funds order. This is why discipline has been refined in you. Spending habits, boundaries, discernment with people. You are no longer impressed by quick money. You are aligned for lasting increase. Proverbs 13:22 establishes the transfer protocol. The wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. Laid up means reserved. Reserved means untouched. Untouched means preserved until the rightful claimant is ready. You are that claimant. And because this is a lawful transfer, there will be no sorrow added to it. Proverbs 10:22 confirms that the blessing of the Lord makes rich and adds no sorrow. If stress is attached, it is not the final form. Wait for the clean version. Some of you will notice an unusual calm over finances that have not yet visibly changed. That calm is not denial, it is foreknowledge. The Spirit knows before the account reflects it. That is why Jesus thanked the Father before Lazarus came out. The verdict had already been issued. And now comes the sealing. In legal terms, a verdict becomes binding when it is signed for. Heaven honors participation. Agreement activates enforcement. So if this word bears witness in your spirit, seal it. Type these words where this message is recorded: I receive my settlement. Not as superstition, as agreement. That action marks reception. It signals consent. It establishes testimony. And if you have not yet aligned yourself with a remnant that understands this language, this jurisdiction, then station yourself accordingly. Community reinforces posture. Isolation weakens it. Finally, be watchful. Not fearful, watchful. When blessings arrive, the enemy attempts distraction, not theft. He cannot steal what has been legally transferred, but he will try to rush you, pressure you, or provoke you into mismanagement. Do not be hurried. Do not over-explain. Do not over-promise. Steward quietly. Build steadily. Give intentionally. And remember this above all. This verdict was not emotional. It was judicial. It was final. and it was issued in your favor. This court is adjourned.